Hello, welcome to
Diamond Dogs.
In the Court of the Wenton King.
This week, what are we doing, Kev?
Diamond Dogs.
Diamond Dogs. Right then. What do you think of Diamond Dogs, Kev?
Oh, Diamond Dogs. It sounds like the Stones. The Stones, man. I'm afraid I can't do a Mick Jagger impression, so this will have to do.
This is as close as I'll do to a Cockney accent.
Here it is, Diamond Dogs. The thing about David Bowie, there's an element of revisionism to his whole approach, man. And in the 80s,
Right.
he made a big effort to present himself as more experimental and more of a cult following in order to push his new commercial sound. But in truth, this is all commercial, as it happens. It's all commercial. But that doesn't mean it's not a good album. It's a good album.
Yeah, nice one, bro. Okay, don't worry. I actually think this is quite a good album, yeah?
It's quite good.
It's quite a good
Quite a
album.
good album.
It's sort of the end of his glam period. At the core of it is sort of work he did on 1984.
1984.
Thing he wanted to do, but he didn't get it right, so it sort of got incorporated into this, as it happens. Apples and pears.
Stones.
It is sort of, as you can see from the cover, it's quite a lot of weird stuff going on. It's sort of like an inversion of weird.
Hangar City.
Ziggy Stardust stuff. He was like an alien.
Ziggy Stardust.
Come down to earth. Quite an optimistic message. All the optimism's gone out of this now. It's all dystopic, grimness, and that's quite interesting actually. It's quite like an interesting context for the album, which I quite like. And it's not too bad, is it? His voice sounds a lot more authentic on this, I think. Authentic. He's howling like a dog in Diamond Dogs rather than barking like a dog like he did on Heroes.
Heroes trying to sound like the Stones.
It's the Stones, man. Yeah, I think this is there's a bit more life to this album than there was the sort of Berlin trilogy. Berlin trilogy is obviously a bit more creative, but this is a bit more interesting for me actually. Yeah, I like the imagery. I like the dystopic stuff. I never really got the Hero sort of weird songs that didn't really hang together. This all hangs together as one nice long piece. There's a couple of singles on there, which are all
singles sound like the Stones.
Yeah, man, real bad. Apart from that, there's not a lot you can say about it. A good album, a good David Bowie album. Actually, this has made me think a little bit more kindly of David Bowie. Actually, I wasn't a huge fan, and I think I like him a little bit more now.
The thing about this album is, if you read the reviews. Here's the reviews of the album. You'll expect some amazing experimental industrial music, but actually it just sounds like the Stones, man.
The experimentation is in the production. I would have thought you got all the crazy
There's some
left right thing going on.
Yeah, there's some sound effects, etc. But really, this is Ziggy Stardust 3, which is good. It's a good album, and although David Bowie. It killed off Ziggy Stardust before this album. Really, this is the third Ziggy Stardust album. It's commercial, it's got catchy tunes, and it's good. David Bowie actually played the guitar on this album.
A lot of the songs were arranged with the Spiders from Mars, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And he was a bit fed up with the whole Guitar Hero thing.
Knocked off he was.
He was knocked off. He was naughty. Whilst I applaud the sentiment, the guitar work on this album is a little rough. It's not really up to scratch, I'm afraid. It's not even as good as the Stones. And the Stones really are on drugs. But it doesn't really matter, because they're good tunes.
Banging tunes.
Track 1.
Future legend.
There's just talking on this track. It's just talking. It's supposed to be influenced by William Burroughs. William Burroughs! I can't believe it.
I don't believe this.
Klingons.
Yeah, I listen to it. I don't believe this. They're having a laugh.
It sets a scene. It sets a scene for an awesome concept album.
It does actually.
Like 1984 or something, but with Hangar City.
Yeah, Hangar City and Halloween Jet. It's like rock and roll. It's genocide. Yeah, it's a pretty good setting the scene. Very short. Spoken word. Actually, Bowie using his voice very effectively. Yeah. Very effective use of David Bowie's voice.
Very effective. Very effective. Yeah. And despite this, the next song is a bit of a surprise. Because you expect some amazing new experimental music, and Diamond Dogs just sounds like the Stones.
Diamond Dogs.
Just sounds like the Stones. That's a good thing. Good thing to sound like the Stones.
Yeah, it's what I like about Diamond Dogs in particular is he sounds quite straight in it. It's a straight rock and roll song, surrounded by all this terrible imagery, this dystopic,
Terrible
Hunger
imagery.
City, humanoids eating each other. Yeah, and it gives it that edge of weird, yeah?
Yeah.
That edge of weird that
Yeah.
David Bowie does so well. Don't you just love Bowie?
Just love it, yeah. Which brings us on to Sweet Thing.
Sweet Thing.
The Sweet Thing. Now, really, the next 3 tracks are one song. I don't know if he was
Maybe he's
had
getting
royalties
paid,
on per song, royalties
paid
per song.
track sort of
Yeah.
thing.
So Sweet Thing, Candidate, and then Sweet Thing Reprise might be one of the best things on the album. A more subtle approach to the vocals, and you can hear the soul coming in. Candidate is probably one of his best things ever, in fact. And it builds up. And then back into the Sweet Thing. The Sweet Thing Reprise.
Which is quite good.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it's a twist of naughtiness. It starts, do you know, this is the lowest thing you ever committed to audio. It starts
really?
on C2, I think it is. Just right down there.
Right down there.
And it's very menacing to start.
That might be even lower than Mick Jagger.
And yeah, just sublime and almost too much in places.
Too much.
The sax gets a little bit crazy in Candidate.
Crazy sax
But
playing.
it's just this side of good, which keeps it in the nearly awesome bracket, I would say. This little trilogy. You're right to view it as a trilogy, I think, Kev.
I think it's just one song. Which brings us on.
Rebel, rebel,
It's Rebel Rebel.
rebel, rebel, ain't it?
Rebel Rebel.
Rebel,
By the Stones. I used to think this was actually a Stones riff. Is it a Stones riff? I don't know.
It don't really matter though, does it?
One of his most poppy tracks, really. But catchy. Great riff. And it's good, man. And the rougher guitar works well.
Yeah, it's a pretty straight affair actually. A bit like Diamond Dogs, and that's what it's got. That's why it's a single. Yeah, I quite like it. Actually, I went through a few David Bowie singles today, or you know, Gene Genie and that sort of thing.
Genie.
I'm not, although they sound kind of singly, I'm not that keen on the actual single.
The album tracks tend to be better.
And it finishes off quite strong side one, I believe. I believe that was the last track, side one.
On side 1, yeah. Which brings us on.
2.
Rock and Roll With Me. I think this also sounds like the Stones, but in a more soulful way. The soulful side of the Stones. And that's pretty good. And also a sign of things to come. Not much to say about it.
No, I agree. It's similar to the other track. Doesn't particularly stand out, but it's not particularly bad either.
Track 8. The next few songs are a bit more subtle. The album gets a bit more interesting, I think, with We Are the Dead. And it's definitely glam, but it's good and it's got a heavy riff, this one.
Yeah, the theatrics give it that glam feel, don't it? And I mean, they say he knew when to get off. This was his last glam inspired record. Actually, the glam's still giving it something here, I think. As again, the interesting thing about this album is the context, and it's the glam that's feeding into that.
The glam.
Yeah, and we are sort of on the home stretch of the album, which is quite a good home stretch actually. Yeah, it's not too bad. Good thing with a heavy riff played by Bowie.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Plays all the guitar.
Amazing, yeah.
Just like Keith Richards out of the Stones.
Stone.
He's not even stoned.
Right?
I think he was actually. I think he was on more than just stoned at this point. For the first time,
Yeah.
really. 1984.
This obviously formed the core of the original 1984 stuff.
Yeah, it came, I believe, came before the 1984 stuff he made, which didn't sound like the Stones, maybe.
This is quite.
And it's funky.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Isn't it? It's kind of like, it sounds like John Shaft.
Yeah, Isaac Hayes. It
Waka
does.
waka wow.
All the strings and everything, very, very effective. But it sounds like the end of a different kind of album, really. End of a big epic theatrical album. Not one that sounds like the Stones. Probably the best song on the album, I think.
Yeah, I'll probably go along with that actually, Kev. I mean, I do like the Sweet Thing Candidate run quite a lot actually.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, but 1984, it's not exactly a single yet. It feels quite distinctive. It does stand out, and I think that's the unique style, because it don't sound like the Stones.
It doesn't sound like the Stones.
No,
It sounds like Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, I'll agree with you, Kev. Yeah. Nice one, bruv. Good shout.
Which brings us on, Big Brother.
Big Brother.
This one's a bit more interesting, maybe a bit more theatrical. Rounds off the album well, but the last 2 tracks really are one song. So as with Sweeping, the last 2 tracks are one song. That's Big Brother, Chant of the Ever Circling Skeletal Family. It strangely reminds me a little bit of Waiting for the Worms by Pink Floyd. Very theatrical. Ends the album on a big epic ending, and of course the big sieg into the chant is powerful stuff, and the way it gets stuck at the end doesn't sound like the Stones at all.
I just gotta say, I love the title and all. Chant of the Ever Circling Skeletal Family. You'd never come up with that, would you?
Never come up with that. Come up with that.
Yeah.
Okay, which brings us to the end. Sorry about that. We can't do it anymore. Sorry. See you next week for a different band. It's going to be Genesis, but it's going to be a surprise. See you then.
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. The Stones.
The Stones, man.